Hello, I'm Dr. George Mochocki, and welcome back to Understanding Retail Merchandising. We're starting lesson two. Now, in lesson two, after you read the material, the publisher's material, read the information, looked at the PowerPoints that I presented from the publisher and my concept maps, and then you should have a general idea. I'm just going to go over. Now, I'm changing this back and forth because I'm utilizing this a different source of information from a different publisher. So what's going on now, I am going to try to use just types of retailing terms. I just use some of the terms you should be familiar with. So there are types of retailing. This retailing, just a basic. And a lot of you know the stores. You've been in there, but you never put a label on it. You know what I mean? Or a term. So remember, the whole thing out of this class, I want you to understand when you're taking it, is not only to understand a little bit about connect the dots with the retailing, but to learn new vocabulary and concepts. So when you're talking to another retailer, they basically are already understanding. When I talk inventory turnover to an accountant, he knows or she knows that's basically how many turns your inventory turns in within a year or within a quarter or within a cycle. But now, from a retailer perspective, they would look at it as a sell-through. How quickly do I sell my inventory out? Because I got to pay for it. I pay for it in advance. I want to get my money back on it, sell it, and then basically I want to make my profit, either reinvest or come back in. Remember, I'm teaching you how a business person thinks. You're going to be, most of you or some of you in the fashion design, fashion sales, purchasing, whatever, or you just open a retail store and you're going to sell to other retailers. You may come into them to talk to me. You have to understand how I feel, but you have to use the terminology, my language, then I know you conceptually understand. Okay, so types of retailers here we have them all. Let me click this on here. Okay, I'm not going to go through it. The book did a real nice job. Convenience store, conventional supermarket, like Jewel, for like a Mariano's, department store, dollar stores, drugstore. A lot of drugstores are combining. You don't see standalone drugstores. They're all combining with the food or someplace where there's a flow of traffic to bring people in to fill the prescription, but at the same time able to purchase merchandising. Okay, remember, you got to think of it as a business. I'm trying to maximize, get people. Most individuals, especially now with COVID-19, when I'm out there, I want to hit it all at once. I got the darn mask on, I got everything else I'm doing, social distancing, so I'm out there, boom, boom, boom. I hit them all. Then I come back. Then I go back out there. So I try to make sure I go to places where everything's very convenient, okay? Factory outlet stores, remember, a lot of factory outlet stores, you figure you're getting a discount. Some merchandise are made just for factory outlet stores. They've never been in a regular outlet, okay? Hypermarket, it's a nice one to look. Let's open up a large 1,000 store, general merchandising. You see them, they're more like now called leisure center. If you're around this area here in, what do you call it, I'm going to say Long Grove, Barrington area. You've got the Legion Center there. All that open up, you've got, okay. I don't want to plug one suburb over another, all right? Okay, so you have the specialty stores, and most of you would be a specialty store. If you're selling your boutiques or some of your clothing or small thing, you're a smaller operation. You may not be able to compete with some of these larger stores, but you have that niche. You have that specialty. That's where you're focusing. Remember, I'm just tying all the knots. You read the material. I'm just saying, here's what it all means. I'm just like summarizing everything you already read, exercise, and prepare you. Okay, now warehouse like Sam's and Costco, they have two types of customers. They have regular or CDW if you're in Vernon Hills. They basically serve business to businesses. That's what the warehouses do, but they also open up to give regular residential customers or like myself or an access to some of the goods, but I gotta buy it at a larger quantity. Okay, so you got soft goods, and you talk a short lifespan, such as clothing and cosmetics. You know what I mean? Hard goods, merchandise lasts for several years. Hopefully, dishwasher, appliances, durable goods. Killer categories. Now, those are kind of going, but they're kind of going out of style. And killer, category, a specialist in one area, retailer, and you would like Toys R Us or Babies R Us. A bed and beyond. If I'm looking at those are killer. They're very specialized, okay. But there, a lot of people are going, okay, and sometimes there's still a niche in there. But you have to make sure you have the merchandise that your other competitors don't have. And that's what happened with Whole Food. They're very natural food, and everyone went there. But then Jewel and Mariano's and Aldi and all these other Whole Foods and everything else, they carried a big selection of what majority of people utilize. They and the Whole Foods had that too, but then they had the specialty, and when they just with the specialty, they had a smaller niche, so they had to make a different market. But then they were brought out by Amazon, and Amazon needed them for a retail location to drop off food. They're still fully online, but people still like to go into some places. Okay, concession stamps, assortment. Now, when you look at an assortment, you talk about depth of merchandise, number of SKUs within a merchandise category, and we're going to talk about depth. I should have put this over here. Bet and that. Let me move it. We're live. Those of you who ever look at me, I don't cut it. We're live. Okay. So let's go with the assortment. You're looking at breadth of merchandise with basically a number of different merchandise categories within a store or a department. You're looking at product lines and product mixes. Okay, product lines all in one thing. Product categories. What you learn in intro to business. I teach that class also. Different terminologies, but it's very similar. It means a little bit differently. Remember, inventory turnover, sell-through here. When I look at product line and product mix, is basically here, but now you're looking at categories because you're funneling it down to more of a narrower approach to understanding. And retail, I'm right here. I only have so many merchandise. What do I carry? I'm not a big store, so I'm very selective, but I have to know who my customers are looking for, my clientele. Okay. Now that means a number of SKUs within a merchandise category. So I'm looking at that. I've got different. Okay, so let's look at this. So I'm looking at bread, different categories, different colors, and within that thing, I got different sizes. I get different styles because that's when you look at the clearance rack. You can know if I'm in an area where there's a lot of people, shorter people in there, then I have a lot of the sizes are gone. All the tall sizes are missing. But I travel like I go to another store and I can say, hey, most of the main customers are taller people. The area, the people are just taller for lack of a better word. And they have more of the shorter areas, smaller sizes are out there for sale. Do you see me? So I can control that. But what do I carry? I carry one of each, but I only carry where I think the majority of my customers. And after a while, when you open up your retailer at the beginning, it's kind of hard because you don't have that. But then you get to understand it. Okay, now store brand. The store brand is what your own private labels you could bring in, or sometimes what do you call it? The national brands will also do something for private labels or put a store brand, or you have your own clothing line. But you may have to have the brand name to bring people in, and then they look and say, hey, these are kind of comparable together. You look at Kirkland and Sam's got their own. Okay, now closeout means things that they're regularly to sell at a reduced price. Now, when I'm looking at a retailer, later on when I go on pricing, how do I know what their markup is? I look at their closeout. Remember, I still want to make money. I will bring that down things. I even get a penny on the damn thing. But I don't want to lose money. I at least want to get what I paid for. So you have a good idea how much the markup was. It cost me $50, and now it's marked down to $5. Holy mackerel, that's a big percentage. Divide 15 to 5 and you find out the percentages. I'm trying to get you to start thinking on your own. After a while, you'll be able to flip the numbers around. Okay, big box, large, limited, large stores. Let me just correct this while I'm here. You see, I'm live. Okay, and then finally, franchising. If I look at franchising, a lot of times you have the franchisor and a franchisee. Franchisor is employer. I come up with an idea and I want to expand, but I don't have the money, so you invest in it, and I give you okay, you got some rights, you could use my name, I give you the template, and I got a good brand, and I help you build up whatever it is, and you pay me a royalty, and my name goes out there. But it's like I own a house, but I really don't own a house if I'm in a condominium. I'm in a big group. Does that kind of make sense? So you have the franchisor is the employer, and franchisee is the employee. Like words, I had the idea, and then you pay royalties, and then you could use my idea, and you pay me, but you have to follow my rules. I still have some control over you, right? Remember, in a condominium, on the outside can't change anything. Here's what the board comes up to, but I could at least do whatever I want on the inside, okay? Okay, now I got this. Now this one is a North American industrial classification. This is just where you get information. I'm open up business. Who are my competitors? I don't see anyone else selling George's brand ties. But there are a lot of stores who do sell them, and they're looking at this classification number. If there's a certain number of items I carry, they have to classify. The main product may be suits, but then they have sub products that they also sell. Walmart sells a lot of soft goods. They also have durable goods, so they'll have both of them. And underneath the durable goods, what they don't have washing machines in there. Sam's does, but Walmart doesn't. You know what I mean? So they've got different classifications, and underneath the classification, you have an idea who could be your secondary competitor. Remember, it's a marketing class. All of businesses to be successful, even as yourself, you have to understand your competitor, you have to understand the environment, you have to understand the forces that are coming against you. Okay, irregular merchandising, you have minor mistakes, and sometimes I look at it, maybe, unless one leg is short than the other, little problems, power from areas outside the store that you have. And if you look at Walmart, they sell, what do you call it, lawn goods for in the winter. Let me just say this. I do my corrections as I go, okay? All right, so that's about it. So that's lesson 2. We have, different kind of retailers, know how to competitors, and all you want to know is where you fit in. And once you have your competitors where you fit in, then you could go, oh, maybe I could find, for lack of better words, here's my competitors. Maybe I could find that niche that I'm looking at. What don't they sell? Remember, once you're selling, making money, that competitor may go, wait a minute, they're making money. I could also bring that in. It's not a big deal. So you have to make sure. So you're not only selling on the niche to bring people in, you're bringing in a customer service, that whole experience. Hi, I'm George. How you doing? Like you're taking my class, and you're going, oh, I never met George. But you have some interaction with me, all right? So that's all I have. Let me see where I have in here. Let me stop this. Where the heck I have. End this up. 1 second. Camtasia. Okay, got that. That's not what I wanted. Recording. All right. Sorry. Early in the morning. 11 minutes. This is excellent. It's probably one of my shortest lesson 2 recording. All right. So we're going to go, I think, lesson 3. I've got it up here, is multi-channel. And now with the COVID and everything else, I'm just giving like a prelude for the next lesson, is more utilizing of mobile apps and social media. And remember, there's different ones in YouTube, Instagram. There's whole new ones out there that are coming on there because they don't like the censorship on this side. And they're like I was when I was younger, long hair and everything else, of Love Festival. And now look at me. But we go through cycles, and you're going through cycles. My audience, if I'm targeting Generation Z or Generation Y students, I basically have to see where they're going. They don't like the censorship. That's my dad's pop. That's my grandpa's social media. I'm coming to come here. Ooh, this is different. This is mine. And that's what you have to be flexible to retail. You adjust. Who's your customer? You may not like. I'm on all these other platforms, Dr. Gam. And I'm looking, these are really very non-controversial, but I'm there. All right? So, all right, I'm trying to make at least 15 minutes out of it, so it's worth your time. But I'm done. Have a good day. Stay safe, and we'll see you in the next lesson. Bye.